Primer is a movie about a group of... sorry, I thought I silenced this. It's just Chris. I'll talk to him later. Where was I? Oh, Primer is a movie about a group of guys who attempt to make a device to make things weigh less, but in the process, invent something else entirely. A time machine!
Once I realized it could be done, I had to test it out. At the time, I didn't realize what it would lead to.
The movie mainly follows Aaron, played by the writer-director, and Abe, played by John Titterton, because they kind of leave the other two guys out of their discovery. While Aaron and Abe are fantastic characters, they're the only ones who get any real depth. That depth is a fascinating look at a power struggle, so I'm not complaining too much, but since the rest of the characters didn't get much development, I sometimes had trouble following along with the plot because I didn't know who was who.
I'm sorry I'm leaving so abruptly, but I fear you would think it too risky of a plan. But I have to go back and fix it. It might not work. It might even make things worse. But I have to try.
Are you? I was afraid that the time travel logic would be hard to understand, but the movie explained it clearly and beautifully. It's quite honestly one of the best time travel methods I've ever seen in a movie. The guys had a system set up, and things ran smoothly. At first.
After our chat, I needed to see if what I was contemplating was even possible.
I don't know if what you're contemplating is even possible. Also, I don't know how you still seem to remember that place. Guess there's more bugs in the system than I thought. Anyway, to answer your question, I guess, considering it's a reality outside of our reality, you could fiddle with it and it wouldn't affect anything over here. It'd be like installing an update, Your experience of the old version would remain intact. The update wouldn't change that. Theoretically, at least. On the other hand, you could cause our reality to collapse in on itself, so there's that. So I guess, be careful.
Aaron and Abe go out of their way to avoid paradoxes, but once they start to think about going back in time to purposefully change events, things spiral out of control.
The idea occurred to me while we were talking, but I wondered if I should do it. Would it be worth the risk?
Yeah. Hey, we have this time device, right? You ever think about just going back and trying to change something just to see what would happen? Not really. Sounds messy. I like things to be orderly. Like things to fit. Okay, yeah, but what if you could change one huge mistake? Like, say, the death of a loved one. Well, I don't know. That's different, I guess. I mean, I've done it before. I saved June from that puppet dimension, remember? That was risky. But I had a solid plan not to muck things up. So you do it then? Yeah, I guess. Just as long as I knew beforehand that there was some way to do it without causing problems. Anyway, you ready to sing this review? What? Pitch Perfect? Oh, yeah, right. Sure. Let's just make it quick, okay? Because I need to head up to Texas afterwards. Whatever, man. 3, 2, 1. Phone, phone. The movie is kind of hard to understand in two ways. To begin with, the audio is very obviously dubbed in post, making it occasionally hard to understand and sometimes a little distracting. But it does clear up as the movie goes along. The video is also various amounts of grainy, but every shot is incredibly well framed and filmed. But the amazingly well written script, combined with the low budget video and audio, works to make it feel more realistic. So the quality's not always a bad thing. The other way it's hard to understand is when things start to go bad for the characters. The movie starts being choppy and vague and moves at a really fast pace, leaving you feeling disoriented. I was afraid that if the movie got too hard to understand that I'd lose interest in it. But thankfully, even though the movie can get really confusing, you can still easily follow the emotional arc of the characters. Also, a trip to the internet quickly cleared up most of the things I wasn't getting. I was getting the big picture, but the internet helped fill in some of the small details. Not all of them. Trust me, there's still plenty I'm unsure of. But you can tell a lot of thought went into this. It's an incredibly well written, logical, and realistic time travel story.
So I'll tell him not to go in. I'll tell him not to interfere. I hope he'll listen to himself.
You know what it's like to lose a twin. You went back and fixed it. You can do that now for Tony and Josh. Yeah, I can also do it for me not being murdered by a weird alien vampire creature. Yes, there's also that. So do you take us to the Prime Dimension now, or what? Well, we may not be following the same destructive path as before, but that weird alien vampire creature is still out there. We can't just let it loose on this dimension. But we know more about it now. We have the upper hand. We can defeat it. Together. Original future me sure does sound a lot braver than current alternate me. We've been through some heavy stuff, man. We had to watch Step Up Revolution. Yikes. Well, you've we've went through a lot of trouble to stop all this trouble. It seems like the least I can do is to help you assure that the remaining bits of trouble don't get more troubling. I'm glad you're finally seeing things our way. So, to Texas? There's something I have to do first. I'll be right back. Weird. So all in all, Primer is a fascinating time travel movie that may get a bit too complex at times, but keeps you invested by having emotionally involving characters. Go see it!
You're welcome.
Once I realized it could be done, I had to test it out. At the time, I didn't realize what it would lead to. I hope we can stop the creature. Red Shirt will be here at some point too. We'll have to deal with that eventually, I guess. I'll miss you terribly, even if you're here with me. Love you, man. End of message. No message.
Hey man, I think I left my Weeble in your car.
I'm going to Texas. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Special thanks to Thomas Robel who donated for it. It was an awesome movie and I greatly enjoyed it. If you'd like a movie review of your own choosing, feel free to donate $10 to minipineapple.com and I'll review it. I'll review anything, you guys. Comics, books, TV shows, fast food franchises. I don't care. You name it, I'll review it. Just contact me for a price. Now my next review will be the one you guys voted for, Alex Cross. So be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr for any updates on that. And if you'd like to see any other videos or reviews, feel free to go to minipineapple.com. See ya!